Alright, I'm Chris with Tech Nerds, and I want to do a quick video to try to help people determine where the weak link is in their system. So like if your system's super slow, kind of to help you get an idea of where, uh, why it's slow and what hardware is causing it to be slow. Okay, so first off, what I would do is hit Control Alt Delete. It'll bring up a list of options. Click Task Manager, and here is Task Manager. Now, you may originally see it like this. If you see it like this, just click More Details, and it'll bring this first tab up, which is Processes. Now, what this is doing is it's showing you how much of your CPU is being utilized, your memory is being utilized, which is your RAM, your hard drive, disk, which is being utilized, your network cards being utilized, and your GPU, which is your graphics card, being utilized. Um, Depending on your system, this GPU could be integrated in the CPU, and that's a different topic, different time. But the point is, you can see how much of your each piece of this hardware is being utilized. So in this particular instance, we can see that our RAM is being 32% of our RAM is being used. I only have 8 gigs in here, and in my personal opinion, 8 gigs is the minimum. I wouldn't buy any computer with less than 8 gigs. So next, what you would want to do is you should start up whatever program is super slow or not responding or having some issues. And then once you start that program up, get back into your task manager here and look at your hardware and see what uh, your hardware is doing. Because once this, like you see how this box is blue, once this box gets to 90-95%, it turns red. And you'll see this a lot on hard drives because a lot of computers have a mechanical hard drive in it, which is way slower than a solid state drive or an M.2 NVMe or even an M.2 through SATA. So, but this will give you a good idea of where your weak link is and where it's slow. Now, if your CPU has a high percent and your memory has a high percent, like this memory has a high percent, but this is just because I only have 8 gigs in here, is fine. I think it's a minimum. But if your CPU is high, and your memory is high, you may not need a new CPU. What you need to do is you need to look at the background process and see if you recognize any of these processes. And if you recognize the processes, like this Bandicam, this is what I'm using to record this video with. I installed that. So what happens over time, and I see this all the time with computers, is that people install programs and install programs and install programs over time, and they never uninstall any programs. And then even when those programs are not open, like this is saying apps, this is showing one app open, task manager, application, programs, any open programs will show here. And this is the background processes. What happens is when people download all those programs, all those applications, even when they're turned off, they're still running in the background. So what they've done is they have a whole bunch of programs running in the background of software they've downloaded over the years and they've never uninstalled. So a good idea would be to go through here and look. Don't be going down past the Windows processes and messing with any of this. And also right here, through here, the background processes, if you don't know nothing about this, I wouldn't mess with it either. But you'll be able to see programs that you downloaded, and if you're no longer using those programs, you should find those programs and uninstall those programs. But that gives you a quick overview of what is slow and the impact that it has on each one of your specific pieces of hardware. You can also go here to performance and you can see it has the same thing listed again. Now I wouldn't do this if you're trying to figure out why your computer's slow, because this is a great place to go for more specific detail on your hardware that you have installed, but it doesn't like the other one, it doesn't show the processes running, which is if you're trying to determine why your computer's slow, you want to see the processes that are affecting it. Could just be old and, an old dual core processor, and I think everyone needs a quad core nowadays, but I'm sure different people say different, but I don't know everything, but in my opinion, that seems to be the best. So, but yeah, you can click on each one of these and it'll tell you more detail about the CPU, for example, speed, base speed, what it is, memory's the same way, how much is in use, how much available, how many DIMM slots you have available to add more sticks, which is super important, and depending on your motherboard and how much it can handle. Um, Disk, obviously, I told you that's the hard drive. This is what I'm running, which is, like I said before, an M.2 NVMe through PCIe. So it's just the way it's like this has to stick with gum, and they're extremely quick. And this thing's like $110 on Amazon. It's a great deal, but That's a different story for different time. I have a speed test. The first video I ever did is a speed test on this exact one. And then underneath it, this is internet. This is your internet, obviously, and this says Ethernet because I have an Ethernet, a Cat6 Ethernet cable ran to this specific computer. It would say Wi-Fi if you're running off Wi-Fi, and the S is sent and the R is received. So it'll kind of give you an idea if you're having some weird issues with your internet. You kind of look here and get a better idea. GPU, obviously, it's the graphics card. This is the model of it. You can click on it and get more information. I won't. I don't want to keep this video real long. I just want to do a quick one, kind of give people an idea of where to look. And startup programs, if you have a laptop, this is important because laptops get turned on and off all the time. I would leave a laptop off. I wouldn't leave a laptop on. Desktop, I would leave on. Like I leave all my desktops on here at the shop and at my home. And I just have the monitors where the monitors go off after a certain amount of time. And some monitors have a problem with burn-in. Some older ones, some newer ones don't. So, you can enable them and disable them here by just clicking on it, and in the bottom right hit disabled, and this tells you the impact, startup impact, and this tells you the BIOS time, how long it took, 11.7 seconds, really fast. So this is, just a little thing, if your computer takes forever to start up, like your laptop, it'd be a good place to go mess with stuff like this. But yeah, that's just a quick overview, and I hope that it helps some people. I'm going to put a link underneath here for a donation tab to my PayPal, because I'm never going to monetize any of my videos, because it's just I don't want to. I just thought this would be easier. You guys can donate if you want. If you don't, you don't have to. It's what you want to do. Thanks, guys. I hope this helps, by the way.